Good morning, everyone. Today we'll be playing some Ravnixstravaganza Supreme Draft. Now, Beast Whisperer seems pretty good, as in, like, every time you cast a creature, draw a card. I think I can get behind that. Devkareen Distant seems good as well, and so does Hired Poisoner. So we have the option of going green, or we could go with Chemister's Insight. I think playing creatures for the most part is probably good. So I'm going to take these two cards and we'll see what happens. Alright, pack 2. Pack 2, we have looks like Dissension, or Guild Pact, excuse me. We have Douse and Gloom, Pillory of the Sleepless, Skeletal Vampire. Man, I don't know what to take here. There's also Skargan Pit Skulk, which is a good aggressive creature. It's a 1-mana 2/2 as long as you hit your opponent. Skeletal Vampire I think could actually be really good. But I want to be able to, like, be sort of aggressive. And I think Pillory of the Sleepless, while even being off color, maybe we just play, like, Abzan. Like, I could see that happening. Pillory of the Sleepless is a really good removal spell. Like, I would splash for it, so. Alright, new, was Guilds of Ravnica pack. There's a Charnel Troll. Beginning of your upkeep, exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on it. Otherwise, sacrifice it. So we need a lot of creatures in the grave. We could discard, put a creature card, or to put a counter on it. Kind of like taking these two. Maybe just going like Golgari dudes. I think I can get behind that. Worth noting, so that Truefire Captain is, they fixed Boros Reckoner. Because like, in original Rav, you could get Boros Reckoner and a Gate Crash pack, and then you could get Azorius Charm and Boros Charm, or Azorius Charm and Rootborn Defenses. And then you could gain infinite life. It was pretty great, actually. I think that combo actually saw some standard play. Alright, so there's a Security Blockade. There is a Corrosed Guildmage, which I think is quite good. Jared's Orders, not super big on. Grizzly Salvage is nice, especially with things like Charnel Troll, where we want a bunch of creatures in the grave. But I think what I'm going to do is take Selesnya Signet and Golgari Guildgate here. Yeah, this Guildmage is not particularly powerful. The only one I would really consider more than that is maybe Grizzly Salvage. Actually, I'll take Grizzly Salvage instead of Selesnya Signet, because it really fits into what I'm trying to do here. Alright, we have an original Ravnica pack. There's a Golgari Signet, which is very good. Putrefy, which is amazing. And a Farseek. Farseek can get us anything but a green source, because obviously we don't have a Shockland that is green. So I think taking Golgari Signet and Putrefy here are where I want to be. We do need to focus on picking creatures, though. Entropic Eidolon is kind of what I want. It's a creature that we can repeatedly pick up out of the grave. It's not incredibly powerful, per se, but I think it is good. Crypt Champion, we don't have any way to splash red right now. We could take Simic Signet, but we don't have anything that's blue to splash. Rakdos Expitter is not bad. I think we take Utopia Sprawl. Okay. Another Guild Pact pack. Let's see, there's Thunderheads. I always like that card, Thunderheads. It's not great, but I like it. Let's see, Bloodscale Prowler is aggressive, but it's a Gruul card, not green like we're looking for. What does this Mage Mark do? Creatures you control that are enchanted get +1/+1. Whenever a creature you control that's enchanted becomes blocked, it gets +1/+1 for each creature blocking it. It's like okay, not amazing. Orzhov Guildmage, that's also not amazing. I'll take Gorklan Savage, and there's no good white cards in this pack either. I could take Cry of Contrition, but like I don't like it. So I think we're just gonna go Beastmaster's Mage Mark. I don't think I'm playing it though. Okay, so more Golgari cards. More good Golgari cards. Hatchery Spider is exactly the kind of top end that you want to have in a deck like this, especially when so many of our permanents are green. Undercity Uprising, creatures you control gain Death Touch until end of turn, then target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. It's pretty excellent removal, but we kind of need to focus on creatures. So I think I'm going to take Hatchery Spider and Glowspore Shaman. Kind of sad we don't get to take a Child of Night, but like these two cards I think are too good to pass up. Okay, Gate Crash. So Ogre Slumlord, whenever another non-token creature dies, you may create a 1/1 black rat creature token, and rats you control have Death Touch. This card's nuts. Especially with the fact that it's any other non-token creature dies, not just creature you control. And then there's a Croakanera or a Naturalize. You could probably take Naturalize for the sideboard. I don't think we would be playing an Assault, Griffin, or Murder Investigation. There's no on-color Signet here, or not Signet, but Gate. Yeah, I think we take these two. Okay, Dissension, I believe. I might be getting Dissension and Guild Pact messed up, but Rakdos Right Knife, a card I've never seen before. Crypt creature gets 1/0 for each blood counter on Rakdos Right Knife and has tap sack a creature, put a blood counter on it. Sacrifice it, and they sacrifice a permanent for each blood counter on Rakdos Right Knife. Wow. Man, if I was in red-black, I mean, I could technically splash for it, but if I was in red-black, I would definitely do that. No good cards to run in our deck other than, like, I guess we could take it. We do have Ogre Slumlord, that'd be amazing, but it's a super late game thing. Transguild Courier is not terrible, and Delirium Skynes, I guess, or we could take a Signet again. We do have a 7-drop, maybe we just take the Signet. It's half on color. Oh man, Sire of Insanity. Sire of Insanity is actually a really good card. This is one of the like budget reanimator cards for Modern, because it's just like you just have to have it last until your end step, and then everybody loses their hand. Maze Behemoth, multicolored creatures you control have trample. Well, we do have a number of multicolored creatures. There's a Guildgate, a Crawl Warrior, Armed and Dangerous. It's a pretty good combat trick. I think I'm going to take the Guildgate, and I think I'm going to take the Sire of Insanity. It's possible that we could like splash red to get Sire and not run Pillory, because that's our only white card. Kind of see how these last like 6 or so packs go. Okay, another Skeletal Vampire. Orzhov Euthanist is a creature that is also removal to an extent, so that's very tempting. Blind Hunter. When it enters the battlefield or the creature it haunts dies, your opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. That's actually pretty good. Morning Thrall, not terrible either. Yeah, I think we take the Euthanist and the Blind Hunter here. Okay. Dragon's Maze. The best of all of the sets. Let's see. So Sunspire Gatekeepers, we do have 2 or more gates. Could take Sunspire Gatekeepers. Protect and Serve is a card that I vaguely remember seeing maybe once. Fatal Fumes is removal, and there's a Golgari Cluestone. I think I take the Cluestone, and we could play a Moss Dog, I guess. It has some value out of the grave, which is somewhat important. Okay. Return to Ravnica. There's Martial Law, Dryad Militant, Gatekeeper Vine, Sluiceway Scorpion, and Sewer Shambler. I think we take the Militant, and I'm gonna take the Shambler. I like the Scavenge on Shambler here, because we're trying to get cards into the grave, and then we can get value out of cards in the grave. And Dryad Militant is just a good aggressive creature for what we're doing. Okay. Sisters of Stone Death. So if we get 8 or more cards in the graveyard, Hatchery Spider can go find us Sisters of Stone Death, which would be amazing. So, let's see. Destroy target land. Selesnya Sanctuary. Selesnya Evangel. Ooh. Elvish Skysweeper. Okay, we're definitely taking Sisters of Stone Death, because like this card is just insane value, right? We could take Stinkweed Imp, actually. Stinkweed Imp is a decent recurable creature that can get a bunch of creatures into the grave. I think the second pick in this pack is either Stinkweed Imp or Selesnya Sanctuary. We don't need this for white fixing. It would just be for like card advantage, basically, because we're playing a slower deck. I'm gonna take the Imp. We're doing it. Dredge in my limited? It's more likely than you think. Okay. Storm Herd. Create X white Pegasus creature tokens with flying, where X is your life total, 10 mana. How would you get there? This Douse and Gloom. We don't really, I think, have a lot of removal. We have Putrefy and Pillory, and I think that's really it. I probably wouldn't mind taking a Signet or Basilica. So let's see what other cards are in this pack. Excuse me. Plagued Rusalka, Douse and Gloom, Restless Bones. What's up, Bone Daddy? How's it going? Silhana Ledgewalker, Star Fletcher. Okay. So this fixes any color, and it's a creature. I actually really like that. And then I think I'm going to take the Basilica. We should have enough untapped lands that Basilica is fine. Alright, Gate Crash. Balustrade Spy. Target player mills till they hit a land. Who knew that was broken? Because people would stop playing lands. Alright, Angelic Skirmisher. At the beginning of each combat, choose First Strike, Vigilance, or Lifelink. Creatures you control gain that ability until end of turn. That seems really good. Then there's a 6-mana 1/1 that makes a 4/4 white angel when it enters, and a white of Precinct 6, which doesn't count creatures in your graveyard, only creatures in your opponent's. I think we take Shadow Alley Denizen and Angelic Skirmisher. I kind of like Balustrade Spy, and I kind of like Death's Approach, but I think these two cards are going to be better for us. Oh, wow. I really wish I was in blue, but I can't get there now. Dream Eater is an incredibly powerful card. So, I think I take another Guild Gate. I don't want too many, but I want some. And then Erstwhile Trooper, Siege Worm, Vigor Spore Worm, or Circuitous Route. I think I take Circuitous Route simply because we already have 22 creatures we can play, and Circuitous Route gets us like 2 gates, gets us a lot closer to casting our massive top end. Yeah, we'll do that. And that was our final pack. So the first thing we're going to do is we're cutting Naturalize. Probably, I don't know. We'll probably still run Rakdos Signet because it's ramp, and we're going to kind of need some ramp here. Let's group creatures separately and take a look at what we're actually doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good pieces of ramp. Mage Mark we're not running. Mage Mark is terrible. In this deck, anyway. I'm thinking about cutting white. Because even though Angelic Skirmisher is great, Blind Hunter is not really. And Pillory of the Sleepless being one of our, like, 2 pieces of removal. I mean, we have enough that we can splash for white. It's the double white that I would be worried about. Because we don't have any white signets or clue stones. We only have Utopia Sprawl and Circuitous Route to help get there. So I think what that means, maybe we can't play Angelic Skirmisher. Yeah, because this only helps with green permanents. I think I'm actually going to cut Angelic Skirmisher, and maybe Blind Hunter. I need to cut 4 cards. That's not too bad. Probably need to cut like a non-creature and then 3 creatures. Gorklan Savage is either a 5/6 for 5 or a 2/3 for 5. That seems pretty bad. I mean, it's regular. Its Bloodthirst rate is not terrible, but its regular rate is horrible. Transguild Courier. If I cut this, I cut 1 less green card for Hatchery Spider, but and then I still have to cut 2 cards. Yeah, I'm gonna cut Pillory and Blind Hunter, I think. We're just gonna go like straight Golgari here with Orzhov Basilica. Do we need a Plains for any reason? No. So I actually like our mana quite a bit here. We still have 17 creatures for counting creatures in the grave, like Rhizome Lurcher or Hatchery Spider, which I do like. We have some pretty decent value out of the grave with a couple of scavenged creatures and like Charnel Troll and Tropic Eidolon. And of course we have Ogre Slumlord, so let's see how this works. This will be interesting. I'm probably going to have to record more than one of these because the end of this league snuck up on me. And I really like this format. This isn't the most popular content on my channel right now, but I really like this and I want to play 1 or 2 more. I might not upload them, or maybe I'll record them and upload them later. We'll see. Alright. I'm drinking a Rockstar because I'm out of coffee, which is terrible. I don't recommend it. If we had a second land, this would be a lot easier, but we technically have both colors of our mana and any land is good, so I am going to keep. And we're kind of just hoping to rip lands for a while. So start Forest, Utopia Sprawl, name Black, pass the turn. We untap. Ooh, we get a Signet. Play Signet. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Gateway Plaza, tapped. We untap. We draw Swamp. So we have 4 mana. So play Shadow Alley Denizen and Sewer Shambler. Sewer Shambler having Swamp Walk is nice. It's one of those times where your opponent might get just utterly boned by the fact that they happen to have a swamp. Opponent plays an untapped Plains into an Azorius Key Rune. Ooh, Charnel Troll. That's going to have to wait for a little bit, though. So, play Stinky. Intimidate. Play Hired Poisoner. Intimidate. Get in for 3. Okay, opponent plays a Rune Wing. And we draw Orzhov Euthanist. So go to combat. Attack with all of these creatures. No matter which one our opponent blocks, they lose Rude Wing. Okay, they block Stinkweed Imp, which is quite nice. And now we can finally play Charnel Troll. We're not going to exile Stinkweed. What we're going to do is we are going to discard probably Euthanist to Charnel Troll's ability, and then Dredge Imp. Twin Strike. Another card I've never seen before. So they kill 2 1/1s, which is actually great. Because now Charnel Troll is going to exile one of those. Okay. So we'll exile Shadow Alley Denizen. Dredge Stinky. We put Grizzly Salvage, Entropic Eidolon, a Cluestone, and 2 lands into the grave. Play Stinkweed Imp. Go to combat. Attack for a bunch. Opponent goes to 7. They did pick up their swamp, so Swamp Block no longer active. Something to be aware of in decks that play bounce lands. 6 mana. Opponent Assassin Strike. And they make us discard a card as well. So we're going to discard Euthanist. I have faith in this Hatchery Spider. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Opponent goes to 4. I won't be doing any further dredging, I think, for a bit. Best top deck besides the land would be any multicolor spell. Putrefy would be very good, especially if my opponent would dump mana into animating a key rune this turn. Okay, Woodlot Crawler, Forest Walk, and Pro Green. Opponent plays a Cluestone. We untap, we get a Thrashing Moss Dog. So go to combat, attack for 1 in the air. Play Plant Puppy. Disdainful Stroke. Wow. Well, now we have something we can scavenge with. So as long as we get another land next turn, we can put 3 1/1 counters on something. Scavenge was a good limited mechanic, I feel like. I had a lot of fun with it. And it was technically the first pre-release I ever went to. Though that was a very, very weird time in my life, because I went to the Return to Ravnica pre-release at my local game store, and I don't think I communicated it to my parents very well, because when I went, I showed up, I did the pre-release pack opening, I played 1 round, and my parents showed up and were like, "All right, we're going to college now. Get ready, we're driving to Utah from Illinois." And I was like, I thought we agreed to go later in the day, because, like, I had this thing I wanted to do, but nope, we left. So I opened Nebraska, and I didn't get to sell her when she was $40, which was kind of upsetting, but also, like, weird times. Weird times. So we're going to scavenge onto Stinkweed Imp. Go to combat. Attack for 4 in the air. Well, if all they're doing is animating a key rune and blocking, we're probably good. Stinkweed Imp having pre-death touch. Okay, opponent sacks a Cluestone. They're looking for an answer. I really think this format is like, how many tap lands do you play? We played 1. Our opponent played 4. Like, my opponent has a lot of mana rocks. Maybe I should bring in Naturalize. But I also don't know what I would take out for that, and we want to keep, like, a large amount of creatures in the deck. So, I'm still waking up. So, game 2. We're on the draw. But if we don't hit a land, we are boned. So I'm mulliganing. Alright, I will keep this. And I'm gonna put back... I think Sisters of Stone Death is probably ambitious. But if we just draw lands and play Sisters, I think we win. Alright, we're gonna put back Sisters. And just try and win with what we got here. Alright, opponent starts Island. So we have 2 lines we can take here. We can play a Swamp, play Basilica next turn, and then try and play, like, into Ogre Slumlord, or we can go Guildgate first, then Swamp into Glowspore Shaman, then Swamp into Sewer Shambler. That just seems a lot stronger, so we'll start Guildgate and pass the turn. Basilica can come way later, when we've run out of things to do. Okay, opponent plays an Aqueduct, bounces their island. We untap and draw Putrefy, which is quite good. Play Glowspore Shaman. So mill 3 cards. You may put a land card from the graveyard on top of your library. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We don't need a land, so I'm not going to. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays an island. I expect a key rune. Signet also works. And Prophetic Prism. Okay, so opponent elected to do very little with their turns. Okay, we have 3 options. We can play a Sewer Shambler and just start getting in for damage. We can play Silhana Starfletcher, and then if we draw an untapped land, we can play Slumlord next turn. We could Putrefy, taking out their red Signet and taking them off of a mana. I think we just play Sewer Shambler. I have no idea what colors they're actually playing, so I can't prioritize getting rid of... You know what? I'm going to do it. We're going to punish them for playing so many mana rocks. And odds are we either did nothing or completely screwed our opponent. There is no in between. Looks like we did nothing. Okay, opponent plays a Blind Hunter. We untap. We draw a Forest. So we're going to play a Sewer Shambler, play an Orzhov Basilica, and bounce a Swamp. Pass the turn. No attacks. So until my opponent plays another bounce land and refuses to play any more swamps, Sewer Shambler is going to get in for damage. They play a Key Rune, then they pass. We draw. Swamp. So, play a Swamp. Play Slumlord. Go to combat. Yeah, I think we just attack. Any creature of ours that dies currently leaves behind a rat with Death Touch. So, opponent does not block. They are scared of the Death Touch rats. As they should be. I really, really hope Supreme Draft comes back with other formats that are cool. Like if we get like Zendikar Supreme Draft when the new Zendikar comes out. Like, actually that wouldn't be great because then we'd see the Eldrazi again. Gross. Or like Mirrodin. Okay, opponent Faith's Fetters, Sewer Shambler. Gets in for 2. We go to 16, we untap, we draw a Forest. Play a Forest, go to combat. Get in for bunch. Play Starfletcher. Green. Pass the turn. The problem is, though, Sisters of Stone Death is the bottom card of our deck. I should have kept it, because, like, look at what kind of situation we'd be in right now if we could play it. Opponent keeps casting Mana Rocks. And a Gorgon with Death Touch, okay. No attacks. We draw. Beast Whisperer. I'm going to wait to play Beast Whisperer until we have another creature that we can play alongside it. Go to combat. We'll attack for 3. No blocks. They are really scared of those rats. Don't know why. Maybe our opponent has a phobia. Assassin's Strike. They're going to kill Slumlord. Slumlord, you did well. Discard Swamp. Come on, any creature. We only have 1,000,000 of them. There it is. Play Beast Whisperer. Play Charnel Troll. Draw. Hired Poisoner. That's an excellent card. Okay, pass the turn. My luck is my opponent will have a Wrath. We'll get like Merciless Eviction and just lose. I don't think there's any Dimir Wraths, now that I think about it. Azorius got one, and Orzhov got one, but Dimir did not. And I guess it's because it's not really Dimir's style, but let me know if there is one and I am forgetting it. Opponent does kill the Beast Whisperer. Alright, well, get rid of Euthanist. We draw a Forest. Okay. Alright, go to combat. I'm going to attack like this because I don't want to exile too many creatures out of my grave. Okay. Blind Hunter down. Haunting that. Play Hired Poisoner. And because my opponent does have discard and we need 7 mana, I'm going to play that. Because now if we top deck Hatchery Spider, it's not bad. It wouldn't be bad if we just had to tap Starfletcher for it, but I'm worried that Starfletcher is going to die to removal. But it plays a Mountain. Red mana reacquired, ignoring Prophetic Prism. I just noticed my opponent's name is Windex Chugger. Do not chug Windex. Alright, opponent played a Mountain and passed, after long thinking. I'm going to attack with the 1/1 Death Touch, because if my opponent blocks with a Key Rune, that's fine with me. Okay, and then we're just going to pass. If they animate the key rune, Silhana Starfletcher has reach. Opponent plays a Gateway Plaza. We untap. Go to combat. And I think at this point I'm just going to hold on to any lands I draw. Because I don't know if my opponent has any other discard than Assassin Strike, but this is a pretty strong effect. Alright, opponent plays another Mana Rock. At least the Mana Rocks that they're playing are good Mana Rocks. I mean, most of the Mana Rocks, I guess, in Ravnica are good Mana Rocks, but... Alright, get in for 1. Okay, opponent goes to 3. And we'll play a Rhizome Lurcher. Fungus Zombie. It's a 6/6. Pass the turn. It's a pretty good rate. 4 mana, 6/6. What is this? Expansion Explosion? Invoke the Firemind? Mind Grind? Mind Grind for 8. And we lose. We have no cards left in our graveyard. Or no cards left in our library, excuse me. Holy crap. We gotta be faster. Okay, run it back. Mind Grind for 8. I guess like 3 different X spells, all of them red, none of them that card. Alright, we'll play first. We will keep this. This is pretty decent. It's not amazing, but Shadow Alley Denizen does let us sneak in quite a bit of damage over time. Opponent mulligans to 5. Start Swamp, Shadow Alley Denizen, pass the turn. We draw Ogre Slumlord, so play a Swamp, go to combat, attack for 1, and play Signet. Pass the turn. Now, opponent did mulligan to 5. I actually expect their deck to be quite consistent with how much mana ramp they have. Okay, we drew ramp that we can't play. So we're going to play Starfletcher. We'll say green. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Opponent goes to 18. Opponent plays a Rakdos Signet, and then a Gateway Plaza. Alright, we untap. We draw a Swamp. So, play Slumlord. Get Intimidating. Attack for 1. If my opponent misses a land drop and stops playing lands effectively, like if they just have cards that are too expensive or the wrong colors, I'm going to Putrefy a Signet. Mainly because I want to keep them off of a big mind grind. I think my opponent was literally doing the math, like he's probably running 16 lands. He's played 8, probably holding 1. Alright. So, go to combat. I'm not going to Putrefy this turn. I'm kind of saving it to see if my opponent has like a flash creature or something. They could Twin Strike here and kill a Shadow Alley Denizen, I guess. Turn and burn. Target creature loses all abilities, and then they burn it. Well, we lose our best creature for now. Opponent still takes 2. Play Stinkweed Imp. And Skargan Pitskulk. 1 mana 2/2, let's go. They play a Cluestone. We untap. We draw Moss Dog. Alright, let me think. So my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. They can Mind Grind for 5, which won't kill us. It's actually a ways off of killing us. But it would mill a lot. We're better off just playing Moss Dog this turn, but the first thing we're going to do is attack with everyone. I'm also not going to Dredge Imp ever. Okay, we hit our opponent for 5. Play Plant Pup. Pass the turn. My opponent also does only have like 2 or 3 cards in hand now. Supreme Verdict. Oh, man. Oh, ouch. Play Entropic Eidolon. Pass the turn. That sucks. Opponent plays a tap land. Passes. We're not dredging. Play a Swamp. Go to combat. Get in for 2. Take our opponent to 8. Pass the turn. Opponent can Mind Grind for 7. Alright, untap. no dredge. Draw Orzhov Euthanist. So go to combat. Attack for 2. Opponent takes 2, goes to 6. Play Euthanist. I was gonna laugh if my opponent could ping the Eidolon for 1 and force me to sack it. Because this is not a May. This is destroy target creature that was dealt damage this turn. Okay, they sack the Cluestone to draw, and putrefy Euthanist. Okay, well we're gonna have it haunt the Eidolon. Okay, opponent plays a Transguild Promenade, which interestingly enough was not a gate. Alright, we untap, we draw. Not dredging. Okay, we draw a forest. So play a forest, go to combat, attack for 2. Take my opponent to 4. Utopia Sprawl. Name green. Pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Mind grind for 7. Shouldn't kill us. Okay. One plays an island. Big spell, here it is. Alright. I think they're just praying this kills us. But of course we have enough lands in our deck that it does not. And now we can scavenge for victory. Whew, that was scary. Also, sweet deck by the opponent. I would definitely like to draft a deck like that. I think that'd be a blast. Just every mana rock, and then an X spell that wins the game. An X spell that wins the game that doesn't require you to get to 20 to kill your opponent. Alright. Round 2, here we go. We're playing first. Yeah, I'll keep this. This is pretty good. So we start Shadow Alley Denizen. Pass the turn. Opponent starts Mountain. And they pass. We draw. Forest. So go to combat. Attack for 1. Opponent takes 1, goes to 19, and we play a Signet. We're saving Poisoner for basically Intimidate at some point. Alright, go to combat, get in for 1. And I'd like to play Glowspore Shaman, I think just to have the most power on the battlefield. I'm still going to save Hired Poisoner. I know we could play both this turn. If we wanted to be the most mana efficient, we could play both, or we could play Guildgate and play Starfletcher. But I think Shaman is just a little bit better. Put a little more pressure on our opponent, force them to answer it. Okay. We mill a Rhizome Lurcher and a Pit Skulk. Okay. Kind of sad we milled the Lurcher, because I don't think we have a way to get it back. And it's one of our big payoffs for milling. But it plays a Plains. Basic Lantron Assemble. Skewer the Critics. They kill our 3/1. We draw Hatchery Spider, which we are now 1 mana away from playing. Play Poisoner. And get in for 1. If we can hit anything off of Hatchery Spider, we're going to have a good time. Opponent plays a Sin Collector, but we are not holding an instant or a sorcery. Then play a Gruul Turf, picking up Swamp. We untap. We draw a Circuitous Route. So cast Circuitous Route, and we'll get Guildgate, Swamp. And yeah, we're just going to pass. Next turn, I will probably attack in such a way that my opponent is incentivized to block and kill a creature, just so we have an additional chance to get a hit off of Hatchery Spider. And I'm hoping they play removal. Sunforger. Good card. Alright, we untap. Oh, they're going to play something else? Nope. Okay. I draw a Stinkweed Imp. Go to combat. Attack with everybody. They're not going to block and kill our Death Touch? What? Alright, well... Let's see if we have a green permanent CMC 3 or less in the top 3 cards of our deck. We do, and it's a good one. Charnel Troll. Just trolling. Down comes the Hatchery Spider, who sat down beside her, and everybody was really scared. Because Intimidate. Get it? Haha! Sorry, that's horrible. Don't forgive me. I need to be punished for making jokes like that. Anyway, Opponent plays a mountain, suits up the Sin Collector. They do not attack. Alright, we exile Glowspore Shaman. We draw a forest. Play forest. Play Stinky. We'll give Hatchery Spider Intimidate. Go to combat. Big swing. Opponent unequips Sunforger to get a Mortify on Charnel Troll. Alright, down goes the troll. They block the guy that sets up Intimidate. Or the gal, I should say. Pass the turn. Okay, Faith's Fetters. So they gain some life, and they're going to stop our only creature with more than 1 power from attacking. We untap, we draw Moss Puppy, and get in for 3. Opponent Arrows of Justice that kill our 1/3 that makes mana and take 2. Okay. They take 2, go to 9. Play Plant Pup. Pass the turn. Captive Audience. Okay. Sure, yeah. We are now a captive audience. Which is great flavor and a pretty good card. So we're going to discard our non-existent hand. I have a feeling I'm going to die to a Boros Charm. Go to combat. Attack for a lot. Play a Sewer Shambler. Pass the turn. So we have to take the life total goes to 4 mode. Like, Carnival Hellsteed. I actually like this card a lot. And not because I played Rakdos at a different pre-release. Thundersong Trumpeter. Okay. So this has drastic implications. We can only hit our opponent for 3 this turn. From Stinkweed Imp and from... Okay, in that case, we have to let them have zombies. Then we draw Sisters of Stone Death. Okay. So first, go to combat. Attack for 2 Swamp Walk and 1 in the air. Opponent goes to 1. My luck is they'll have a, creatures can't block this turn effect of some kind. Play Sisters of Stone Death. Something I was worried we weren't going to do this league. And then what we'll do is we'll just say, like, all of your creatures block Sisters. Because we can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 creatures block Sisters of Stone Death. Then we can exile Carnival Hellsteed. Opponent concedes. Whew, that was close. I actually think we need Naturalize, because if we get stuck with another captive audience, it's gotta go, and in a hurry. And what do we take out for Naturalize? I think I'm gonna cut probably this Clue Stone. I've not seen the Clue Stone yet, but I don't think we'll need it. Okay, we can't keep this hand. No land. So down to 6. Yeah, we're going to 5. Going to 4. Okay, I'll figure it out. We gotta put 3 cards back. So we put back Pit Skulk, Putrefy, Naturalize, and the plan is to try and get a ton of value off of a Beast Whisperer. Don't think it's great, but I think this is the way that we can win, I guess the easiest. Play Utopia Sprawl on black, pass the turn. I don't think we have any double black or double green 3-drops, so it doesn't really matter what we named there. We untap. Okay, play Swamp. I'd like to draw a 1-drop so we immediately get value off Beast Whisperer. We can kind of undo some of these mulligans that we've been taking. Okay, opponent plays a Sky Knight Legionnaire and gets in for 2. I think Sky Knight Legionnaire is the only Boros card that's been printed every single time Ravnica has been around. I think this card has been printed in every, like, Ravnica block. I know they don't do blocks anymore, but... Okay, don't kill Beast Whisperer. It's vital to my plans. We'll take 2. Okay, not only did you kill it, you also ruined my day. We draw a Charnel Troll. Play a forest. Start trolling. Pass the turn. You didn't even need the additional mana, you just did it for 1. Opponent gets in for 2. Opponent plays a True Fire Paladin. Okay. Untap. Exile Beast Whisperer. Draw a Swamp. Play a Swamp. Go to combat. Attack for 5. Opponent takes 5, goes to 15. Pass. We will be discarding Silhana Star Fletcher in response to anything that deals 5 damage or at our upkeep. Opponent's going to attack for 6. Oh, they don't pump, okay. Make Troll bigger. We do need to draw another creature to keep this train rolling. Okay, cool. Go to combat. Attack for 7. Take our opponent to 8. Pass the turn. The Vigilance blocker here is annoying, but it's not the worst thing in the world, I think. Okay, opponent attacks for 4. Hits us to 6. They're not using their red mana. Discard Rhizome Lurcher. If we draw a creature, we technically have lethal. Without some other kind of combat trick from the opponent. Oh no. Attack for 9. Opponent does have to block. So my luck is they're going to play and equip a Sunforger and just kill us. If they don't kill us, the only hope we have of winning, I think, is to top deck Entropic Eidolon. Okay, Conclave Tribunal. They take out Charnel Troll. Alright, Entropic Eidolon. Come on, Eidolon! You could do it! We untap, we draw. Swamp. Pass the turn. So, like, Hatchery Spider would be good, because it could block. But my opponent only has to find 2 damage, and they're in the most aggressive colors in the format. Angelic Skirmisher. Okay, Entropic Eidolon no longer lethal. Yep. Opponent gains lifelink. They get in for 3. We go to 2. We untap. Oh, it was a card too deep. We could have done it. Game 3? Question mark? Well, I mean, we did mulligan to 4. And we were 1 card away from winning. Alright, yeah, we'll just run it back. So close. Alright, it's a little slow, but I think this will work. Start Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains and passes. We draw Swamp. So is it better to play Basilica? Next turn we'll have 3. Go down to 1 to get to 2. I think it's better to play Signet now. Because then we can play our 3-drop and then play Basilica. Okay, we draw Glowspore Shaman. Oh, we can't play Glowspore and Hired Poisoner this turn. How unfortunate. We're just going to play Glowspore Shaman and try and mill some creatures to make Rhizome Lurcher large. Grizzly Salvage, Naturalize, Militant. Okay. We'll play Basilica, pick up Swamp, pass the turn. Next turn we can play a Slumlord and swing. Okay, play a Swamp. Play Slumlord. Attack for 3. If they kill it, we get a rat with Death Touch. They don't kill it. Opponent has 8 cards in hand, and all 3 colors of their mana. I'm scared. Opponent, Luminous Bonds. Well, that doesn't stop us from getting value out of it, which is good. So play a Swamp. We only have 1 creature in the grave. Oops. I should stop fiddling with my phone. Go to combat. Attack for 3. Hit them to 14. We will play a Euthanist and a Poisoner. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mountain. Conclave Tribunal. Hitting Glowspore Shaman. Okay. We untap. We draw Charnel Troll, which would be quite risky to play right now. I still think we do, actually. Play the Troll. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Unfortunately, we don't have a second green source, so we can't leave up Putrefy. Okay, opponent plays a Swamp. Merciless Eviction, I think, would be the worst thing they could play. Doom Whisperer. We can answer a Doom Whisperer. So, exile Militant, draw Hatchery Spider, Putrefied Doom Whisperer. Okay, opponent pays 2 to Surveil. They're going to be going to 1. I don't know if surveilling there was the right move, but I guess if they don't have anything at all... I don't know why I'm out of focus. I'm sorry, everybody. Let's see if I can fix this. Alright, we get a rat. Attack with everybody. Why am I out of focus? Come on, camera. Okay, opponent goes to 1. They play Angelic Skirmisher. Our opponent can pick Lifelink if they want. So on our upkeep, we discard Hatchery Spider to make the troll huge. We draw Sewer Shambler, which we'll play, because why not? Go to combat. Opponent, I think, has to pick Lifelink, and they still lose. Hit them with everybody. Alright. 2-0. Going into round 3. Alright, round 3. Here we go. I can keep this. It's not the most amazing hand in the world, but it does do some cool stuff, so why not? We will get mana very fast. So start Forest, Utopia Sprawl, name Black, pass the turn. If we could draw another 2-drop like our other Rakdos Signet, this would be pretty cool. Alright, Glowspore Shaman, not bad. So, play Signet, play Swamp, Glowspore Shaman. We're untapping with 5 mana on turn 3. That's pretty good. We drop Beast Whisperer, Hired Poisoner. We're not going to put a land on top. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent bounces with Arrester's Admonition to draw a card. Play Glowspore. Mill ourselves again. We mill Rakdos Signet, 2 lands. No land on top. Play Forest. Play Euthanist. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Basilica Guards. Okay. We draw Slumlord. Kinda wish I hadn't played Euthanist. I figured something like this might happen. Play Slumlord. Play Guildgate. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Plains and passes. We draw Silhana Starfletcher. Play Swamp. Go to combat. And swing in with Reckless Abandon. Okay. They block Glowspore Shaman. And they play Devouring Light. Wow. Okay, so that's pretty good. Opponent's going to take down our 2 most important threats and extort us. Probably should have seen that coming, but I didn't. So, one of the, I guess, quirks about having a limited format that's so large is it's not possible to play around, like, every trick your opponent could have. Like, I kind of expected a bounce spell, because they already showed 1. They they could have more 3-mana creature unsummon type effects. I did not expect a Devouring Light. Really hope they don't have like Armada Worm and stuff like that. That would be a beating. All right, Fate's Fetters on the only creature that can get in for damage. Opponent has gained a ridiculous amount of life. We draw a Swamp, so go to combat. Attack, attack. Note to self, opponent has high toughness creatures we want to use Euthanist on. They take 1. They play an island. Short of, like, dropping a massive bomb and then having it go unanswered, I don't know how we're going to beat this. I don't know how we beat a 1-4. And that's a terrible feeling. Not being able to beat a 1-4. Alright, so attack for 3. Opponent takes 1. Play Rhizome Lurcher.
Alright. 4 mana 5/5. Excellent. Above rate, actually. Alright. Opponent untaps, draws. Interestingly, did not immediately have a counterspell or an answer for Lurcher, which is nice. Looks like they might be getting a little bit flooded. They play Copy Enchantment. Oh my god, multiple Faith's Fetters! Our opponent is gaining so much life. Oh man, we're gonna need Naturalize. Untap. Draw Grizzly Salvage, so we're gonna cast it. I'm going to take Sisters of Stone Death. So now, we can scavenge 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Now we can scavenge here. And this is big enough to swing past the Basilica Guards. I got a feeling if we cast this Sisters of Stone Death, my opponent has a Wrath. Okay, opponent takes 4. They play a Forest. Oh no. That's a lot of mana. Oh no. Tidespout Tyrant. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh man, every time you cast a spell, bounce a permanent? Alright, play a Swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 mana. Alright, Sisters of Stone Death. Pass the turn. I mean, if they don't have a spell to cast, if they're holding 2 lands, they are probably boned. But they definitely have a spell to cast. And they can constantly unsummon an 8-drop. Or they could just exile it, because my... Damn it. Ugh. What else do they bounce? Orzhov Euthanist? Okay, that's actually good. Because now if they block with Tidespout Tyrant, we could finish it off. They play Growth Chamber. And they bounce an island. Attack for 5, we go to 10. We're going to be dead in very short order, though. So untap. Draw Hatchery Spider. 4 creatures in grave. Alright. Let's try and do this logically, shall we? Attack for 1. No blocks. Play Hatchery Spider. It's big and can block Tidespout Tyrant. We have not milled Putrefy yet. We whiff entirely. Oh no. Okay, pass the turn. When it plays the island, they bounce to their hand. I mean, if they bounce Hatchery Spider, we at least get to respin on the Hatchery Spider there. And if they don't have a spell, they can't attack, which is good. We really just need a Putrefy. Alright, they attack. Block, it has reach. Don't exile target blocking creature. Don't tell me you have another Devouring Light. If it's just like a Smite or so. Oh yeah, it's Convoke, okay. What's happening? A second Devouring Light. Why me? Oh man. Oh, and they're gonna bounce their Copy Enchantment and Extort. Their opponent's deck is dirty. Oh man. What they're doing is not okay. Multiple Devouring Lights. So how do we beat this? We just have to aggro them out? It's gonna be hard when our opponent is gaining, 14 life every 10 seconds. But I evidently had my sights set too low on a deck. Apparently I gotta go deeper. We untap, we draw Charnel Troll. So, what do we do here? We go to combat. Attack for 6. Drop our opponent to 19, finally. Play Charnel Troll. Play Cluestone. And do we play Euthanist? I think we have to. I think we actually have to play Euthanist. Just to have more damage. So now, my opponent can bounce Rhizome Lurcher, arrest Charnel Troll, gain a bunch more life, and we're dead in one more swing. Unless we top deck exactly Putrefy. Alright, Copy Enchantment, they get to Extort. Okay, they bounce Rhizome Lurcher. Pay 1, we go to 8. Copy Faith's Fetters, put it on Charnel Troll. Yeah, the old Tidespout Tyrant copy enchantment Faith's Fetters loop. Like, what is happening? Sorry if I'm complaining too much, I'm just a little salty. This is a little ridiculous. Exile a creature. Draw a card. Nope. Alright, game 2. What the hell? I mean, it does involve an 8-drop, right? So, like, our opponent should win at that point. I don't want to play Pillory of the Sleepless because then my opponent can use that for their copy enchantment shenanigans. I'm going to bring in Naturalize over Cluestone, I think. We could bring in Sire of Insanity, but then we would have to start running red mana and we don't have any guild gates for that. It would be like Utopia Sprawl, Rakdos Signet, and then a Mountain. But that makes the rest of our mana so bad. I don't think I can actually do that. We're just going to run it back and hope for an extremely aggressive, militant Pit Skull Shadow Alley Denizen hand. Alright, we'll play first. I mean, that has one of the things I hoped for, so we're going to keep. We do have a curve, we do have Naturalize. So, start Guildgate tapped, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Plains. We draw Utopia Sprawl, which is an excellent top deck here. Utopia Sprawl on black. Pass the turn. There's just something else to do with our mana. Okay, opponent plays a Transguild Promenade. Promenade, I don't know how to pronounce that. We draw Hatchery Spider. We go to combat. Get in for 1. Play Sewer Shambler. Okay. Pass the turn. Opponent plays a Guildgate. And an Action Injunction. Detains a creature and draws a card. We untap. We draw a Swamp. So, Grizzly Salvage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can either take our 6th land, a Dryad Militant, or an Entropic Eidolon. Honestly, I think we take the land, which is really weird, but go to combat, get in for 1. Oh, I actually shouldn't F6 here, because we might need to naturalize something. Okay, opponent plays a Plains. The other problem is, like, for Undergrowth stuff, most of our opponent's removal exiles or just leaves it on the battlefield arrested, and it's like, whatever happened to just killing creatures? Alright, so Faith's Fetters, Naturalize Faith's Fetters, they gain 4, up to 22. We untap, we draw a Swamp, so we will be able to get to Hatchery Spider this game. And our opponent is not just going to Faith's Fetters or copy enchantment it, which is nice. We would like to, I guess, draw like Glowspore Shaman or something first to mill. Oh my god, they have more than one. Our opponent has 2 Devouring Lights and 2 Faith's Fetters. What is happening? Play a Swamp. Play Beast Whisperer. Go to combat. Get in for 1. Okay, I'd like to draw a whole bunch of small creatures right in a row. Okay, Glowspore Shaman. I will return Entropic Eidolon to my hand. We draw Stinkweed Imp, Glowspore Shaman, give Beast Whisperer Intimidate, and mill 3. Do we want to put a land on top? No. Okay. And I'm going to play Entropic Eidolon, draw another card, Putrefy. Not a bad card to have. We'll give Shadow Alley Denizen Intimidate this time. Okay. Go to combat, attack, and I fully expect a Devouring Light on Beastmaster here. Or Beast Whisperer. Yep, they had it. They take 1, they go to 21. We're fighting to just keep them at their starting life total, which tells me we're losing. Alright, 7 mana. They play a Sky Swallower, which has Shroud. We draw Thrashing Moss Dog, so play Stinkweed Imp. Give Glowspore Shaman Intimidate. Play Moss Dog. Attack for 3. So Stinkweed Imp. Oh crap. That's part green. Forgot how Intimidate worked. I was like, oh yeah, no, it's just fear. Except it's not. That's why they're different keywords. Oh, whoops. Choked. Absolutely choke. I hate this so much. I hate everything about this. This is the least fair thing I've seen in regular Magic, and I don't know how long. Opponent's going to hit us for 6. We can block 3 of it. But we're not going to. 4 mana for a Master Biomancer, which is an absurdly powerful card that we are going to terminate with Extreme Prejudice. Play a forest, go to combat. And we are losing this race currently. I'm really hoping this Hatchery Spider can come down next turn and do something, even if it's just block for a while. Opponent plays an island, gets in for 6, takes us to 8. We untap. We draw Rhizome Lurcher. So go to combat. Attack for a bunch. Take our opponent to 13. And I think we're going to... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah. We're doing this just to increase our hits off of Hatchery Spider a little bit. Okay, we get a creature with reach. Pass the turn. So our opponent has used 2 Faith's Fetters. The problem is if they have Devouring Light, we are taking the 6 damage. Okay, they did not play Devouring Light. We draw Slumlord. So play Slumlord. Give the only creature that can actually attack Intimidate. Go to combat. Attack for 1. Then play Rhizome Lurcher. Always yes, always yield. Okay. So Entropic Eidolon we can use to get Intimidate every turn on something with 3 power. Okay, opponent plays a Soulsworn Jury. We untap. We draw Sisters of Stone Death, who, if we cast, Soulsworn Jury is just going to immediately counter. So play Entropic Eidolon, see if they counter it. They don't. We'll give Slumlord Intimidate. Go to combat. Attack with a creature with Intimidate and nothing else, because I don't want to punt this game away. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. 3 mana. Detention Sphere. Detention Sphere on Shadow Alley Denizen. Okay. Opponent's going to pass. So we untap. Draw Swamp. Play a Swamp. Go to combat. And flunge. Opponent concedes. Okay, I'll see you guys in game 3. Yeah, I really don't want to let my opponent get a Pillory of the Sleepless. I think that'll just kill us. We could play a Blind Hunter. It is a little bit of reach. And we've not been actually having trouble getting white mana. But I don't want to think about sideboarding right now. I just want to win. We'll keep. We've got good plays. We just need 1 more mana. Alright. Pit Skulk is not terrible. I am going to play it no Bloodthirst because I want to start getting in some early damage. Opponent is 6 minutes ahead of us on the clock. 7 minutes ahead of us on the clock. Alright. We draw a Forest, go to combat, attack for 1. Opponent takes 1, goes to 19. Play a Swamp, play Golgari Signet, pass the turn. So next turn we're probably playing Thrashing Moss Dog, I think. Okay, opponent plays a Soulsworn Jury. We draw Shadow Alley Denizen. So play the Denizen. Play Star Fletcher, name black. Pass the turn. No attacks. If my opponent just leaves up mana, we're in trouble. Glare of Subdual. Fun. Okay, we draw Orzhov Euthanist, so go to combat. This changes our plans. And attack. Okay. They take 1, Soulsworn Jury takes 1, and they tap Star Fletcher. Play Euthanist, kill Soulsworn Jury, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays an Opal Lake Gatekeepers. We untap, we draw Grizzly Salvage. Play Slumlord, go to combat, and swing with Reckless Abandon. We want rats with Death Touch, and we want creatures in the grave, and this accomplishes all of those things while dealing 1 damage to our opponent. So we are going to haunt the Pit Skulk, and we will use Ogre Slumlord's ability. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent taps Slumlord. My opponent might actually lose to time, simply because they have to take a lot of extra time to set up Glare of Subdual. Alright, And they bounce the Slumlord, and they play Keening Apparition. Okay. We untap. We draw Entropic Eidolon. Play Slumlord. Go to combat. Opponent can just tap down our attackers. They both effectively have Death Touch. Attack for 1. No reason not for them to not tap that there. So we get a rat, we kill that, and yeah, life is good. And we get another rat. Life is better. Ogre Slumlord getting out of control. Yes, we will use his ability. Probably should just auto yes, but... Alright, Detention Sphere. Can hit Slumlord or our rats. Either way, it's pretty bad. They hit the rats. If they hit the Slumlord, they'd take away the Death Touch, but I guess that's fair. So I think what we're going to do is try and Grizzly Salvage for a land. We're still going to try and Grizzly Salvage for a land, because if we hit an untapped land, we can play theoretically a bigger Rhizome Lurcher. I'd be kind of sad to lose Sisters of Stone Death this early, but like, I think I still take Basilica. Beast Whisperer would be good. Yeah, I still think I take Basilica, which is a bit weird, but... Alright. Scavenge onto Slumlord. Go to combat. Opponent should tap our creature. They did not, so they probably have Devouring Light. Okay, they do. That sucks. Play Basilica. Bounce Swamp. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Plains. They are running out the clock pretty hard. Okay. They immediately tap Starfletcher. Play Lurcher. Enters as a 7/7. Play a tap land. Pass the turn. So Glare of Subdual is very good because it's almost opposition. If it could tap lands, it would be. Thank goodness it can't, because we need less opposition in all of Magic, I feel. Play a Swamp. Go to combat. Attack for 7. Opponent almost certainly has another Devouring Light with this play. Yep. Okay. There's nothing we could really do to play around that, though. Not in any meaningful way. So, play Entropic Eidolon. Play Plant Puppy. Pass the turn. Opponent copies Enchantment, probably hitting Detention Sphere. Yep. They can take out her 3/3. Yep, that's what they do. Then they pass. We draw. Hired Poisoner, which is not a bad card. Go to combat. Opponent taps the 2/2. We attack for 1. Take our opponent to 16. Play Hired Poisoner. So our opponent's kind of at the point where if they draw Sky Swallower or Tidespout Tyrant, we probably are going to lose, even though they only have 3 minutes left on the clock. Faith's Fetters. That's not actually that bad, because we can... Oh no, because we can't. I was F6'd. I should have sacked in response. That's so terrible. Untap. What do we draw? Okay, opponent taps the Starfletcher. We draw Charnel Troll. Charnel Troll is actually quite good here. Play a Forest. Go to combat. Get in for 1. It forces them to keep tapping their only creature to tap Charnel Troll. Naturalize would be a pretty good draw, because then we could get rid of Glare of Subdual. Runner's Bane. Enchant creature power 3 or less. Doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Okay. So, opponent taps Charnel Troll. Exile Shadow Alley Denizen. Draw Naturalize. So, go to combat. Attack for 1. Take our opponent to 18. Kill Glare of Subdual. Sweet. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Guildgate. Last card in hand. Angelic Edict taking out the troll. Alright, we untap. We draw Putrefy. Destroy target artifact or creature. Alright, we're going to pass, and we're just going to hold on to Putrefy in case my opponent plays Tidespout Tyrant or Master Biomancer. Master Biomancer can get the Putrefy. Okay, we untap. Draw a Swamp. Pass the turn. Okay, we have no responses because all of our onboard trickery is currently arrested. Alright, Stinkweed Imp. Play Stinky. Pass the turn. 20 turn clock achieved. Or 18 turn, excuse me. Yeah, opponent plays an Orzhov Basilica Guards. We untap. We draw Hatchery Spider. 4 creature cards in grave. Go to combat. Hit our opponent for 1. Thankfully, Hatchery Spider does not mill the cards it skips over. Oh, whoops. Okay, we whiff. It's kind of good we're not drawing those cards, though. Okay, pass the turn. Opponent goes to combat, passes, plays a land. We untap. We draw Guildgate, go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent does not block. They take 6. We'll play Guildgate, pass the turn. Every land my opponent top decks right now is so good for us. Every land we top deck is medium. Unfortunately, we don't have Sisters of Stone Death anymore because we didn't take Sisters of Stone Death. Okay, opponent does chump the Hatchery Spider and only take 1. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent passes. We draw Signet. Go to combat. Attack, attack. Really hoping this isn't Devouring Light number 3. Okay, opponent takes 6 and goes to 4. We'll pass. Opponent plays Plains. So they're going to have to chump this turn. We draw Glowspore Shaman, which is really dangerous. Attack for a lot. Opponent has to block. They take 2. Alright, we're just going to pass. We're not going to play Glowspore Shaman. Just in case my opponent has a Wrath. And opponent concedes after an extremely long game 3. Ugh. Leaving us with a treasure chest and 150 play points. So let's go ahead and open our treasure chest, see what we get. 25 play points, so it was worth it, and we get a Predatory Impetus. I don't know how to pronounce that. It's worth half a ticket. Alright, never would have guessed. Anyway, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more, please leave a like, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined. It'd mean a lot to me if you did. And if you want to see me draft and play jank decks and Modern live, you can follow me on Twitch, same username there as you find me on here. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!